Hello, welcome to my video on the strange world of DVD packaging. And if you're wondering why I'm doing this, it's, well, two reasons. One, my channel's called The Physical Media Guy, so I want to talk about physical media. And second, I've always just loved owning DVDs. I don't know what it is. It doesn't feel special to just own a movie or show and not be restricted by it. Okay, there are restrictions depending on whether or not you damage the disc, but that's kind of on me. And streaming, honestly, has brought more problems than benefits, in my opinion. So, as another heads up, I'm going to go off script for this video, so if I stutter a bit, that's mostly because everything I'm saying is coming from the heart. And I want everything I say to feel genuine. I hope you understand that. So, let's start this video off by going to DVDs, then Blu-ray, then 4K. Then at the very end, I'll show off something that requires me to go back to this camera angle. Okay, let's get started. First off, here's a regular DVD. It has everything you need, like the cover of the movie, spine for when you put it on the shelf, and some stuff on the back about the film in case you want to read the description. Hang on, let me focus a bit. Much better. But when you open it up, you get the usual stuff. You get the disc where you just pop this, it comes out. Simple. And here's the interesting thing about this. You see this empty space here? Believe it or not, there's actually multiple versions of this. Let me show you. There's a blank one, and with this movie, the first Power Rangers film, it had this weird, traced out bit. I have no idea why they do that. But, with the movie Fight Club, it has a logo that makes more sense. A recycling logo. And I get it. People don't want to waste, so they're encouraged to recycle the DVD cases to be used for other movies. I find that fascinating, don't you? And sometimes, they don't have just one disc. Like here, Family Guy Blue Harvest, when you open it up, you get this. Which is interesting. And also sometimes you get these little paper inserts advertising other things related to, well, what's inside, or at least the company that made it. Another weird thing about this DVD, at least the second disc, this second disc is a digital copy. I find this fascinating because in later years, they don't do this anymore. Let me show you what I mean with the next one. Here's X-Men Days of Future Past the Road Cut. Here's an interesting thing. It actually comes in a nice little slipcover, which I guess is to protect it or make it look nice. Honestly, I chose this one to show off because it does this. I don't have many DVD slipcovers that do this. But here's what I meant by the whole digital copies thing is weird because with most movies, it comes with a paper insert showing you how to do it digitally, and I wonder, why do, I don't know, companies do this? Because if you're buying the physical, why would you want a digital copy? If I want to get it digital, I'd either stream it or buy it on Amazon Prime. I don't know. I always found that stupid. And a part of me kind of wants to just put free digital codes on my, I don't know, feed. If anyone wants one. Also, sometimes they come in different colors. Okay, this isn't really a color, but let me show you what I mean. Here's Transformers the movie. As you can see, it's actually clear and see-through. Sometimes they make these more fragile, but there's one thing about it I really like. When you open it up, you actually sometimes get extra artwork inside the DVD. For movies, it's mostly an excuse to swap the cover just so you can see a different, I don't know, the movie poster or just the original artwork that's shown. This works better for TV shows, but I'll get into that later. But first, let me show you more different color DVD cases. Let me just get these out of the way. Okay, here's my first example of different color cases. Here are some Wallace and Gromit DVDs where the cases are actually white. And here's the thing, these were released by DreamWorks, and one thing they did in the early 2000s, at least for their Canadian releases, they actually put a Canadian maple leaf on the spines of these. I don't know why I like that little detail. Also, another weird thing, at least about oh, hang on, there we go, about this DVD here, that some of these movies had these little clamps on the side where you have to do this just to get it to open. which always confused me because what's the point of this? Is this supposed to keep kids from opening it? It doesn't really make sense because as a kid, I knew how to get past that. Anyways, let me show you some other color DVDs I have. Here's Adam Sandler, Eight Crazy Nights. This case is blue for some reason. No idea why this film in particular. This next one isn't a movie, but I wanted to show it off because of the whole different color case thing. Here's a volume of my favorite Ninja Turtle cartoon, and yeah, the company who made this went out of the way to make every DVD green. I don't know why they did this, but I just thought that was awesome. Now here's a weird one I have. This one is silver for Terminator 2 Judgment Day, which makes sense. It's a good movie, and it's about robots, so why not make it silver? But here's the thing. This is an early DVD where they didn't know how to do 2 discs properly yet, so you know what they did? Well, here's the spine. Looks weird, right? Well, they did this. You open it up, here's the movie, but when you do this side, you have disc 2, which is probably the bonus features. Yeah, it's been a while since I watched this. Yeah, I have not seen many DVDs like this, used. This is the only one I've ever come across in my lifespan. Sometimes movies come in special editions, ones that are longer than usual. Let me show you what I mean. Here's Lord of the Rings, at least the first one, the special edition. And you see it's really big, which is weird because, well, it's just one movie. Well, let me pull out and show you what I mean. You get this nice little cardboard thing you get out, and you fold it out over and over, and something to get this little paper thing. But yeah, you get all this for one movie. These 2 discs right here, this is the movie alone. It's that long. And these 2 discs here, that's all the bonus features. You can tell they went all out with this one. Now, I'm going to show you something that's kind of fascinating to me, or at least close to my heart. It's actually rental DVD cases. Yeah, I still own some. And if you're wondering how, it's because when the stores were closing down or trying to clear inventory, they would just sell their DVDs in the old cases just to make room. Here's one from Rogers. Okay, this is a Spider-Man cartoon, but yeah, Rogers had their own DVD spines, where... Can't really show that on camera too well. Alright, let me zoom in, see if I can get a good view. Oh, here we go. Yeah, sometimes they would have these extra spaces, and if you wonder what that's for, they would sometimes just plop something on the side here to keep people from opening and stealing them, which is honestly quite cool. Even the inside's a little unique. Hang on, okay, here we go. But there's something to add this little extra notch on the top to make it easier to grab the disc. I don't find it cool I still have this after all these years. And here's one from the most famous, rental chain in the world. At least at the time, there's only one left. Here's one from Blockbuster. Yeah, I still own some DVDs in Blockbuster cases, believe it or not. And one of the first things you notice is hang on, just fix this. There we go. Yeah, you have this little hole right here. Yeah, that's where they shoved the stick in so they couldn't get people to steal them. It's quite interesting how they all have their own different anti-stealing methods. And we open it up. Yeah, you can see all the different slots for the stick to keep people from opening it. And it's also one of the few just black DVD cases where you get 2 discs on both sides. Another fun thing about these is that on the Blockbuster ones, they actually have the Blockbuster logo carved into this. They didn't have to do that, but I don't care. It's really cool. Anyways, what if you want to own more movies? Well, that's what box sets are for. Let me show you some. Okay, here's the first one I'm going to show off. The Batman Legacy. Yeah, you can tell I've had this for a while, seeing as how if you look here, yeah, I've had this since I was really young. And I wanted to show this one off in particular because you get 4 DVDs for, well, all 4 of the original Batman movies. And here's the thing about these cases. With Warner Brothers, a lot of their early DVDs look like this. Yeah, if you're wondering, how do you open it? Well, here's blocked off. Here's just a piece of plastic, so what do? You fold this out, you fold this, and there's the movie. Yeah, this is all just cardboard mostly. Here's the interesting thing about the disc. A lot of older movies either sold the film that are widescreen or full screen, mostly depending on the TV you had, but the way they did this, whereas one side would be widescreen, the other side would be full screen. Why they couldn't just have widescreen at the default, I couldn't tell you. It's really weird. Let me show you another one I have. Here's the original 3 X-Men movies. It's the same deal, like 3 movies in one box, and thankfully this time it's still regular DVD cases instead of that cardboard stuff. Yeah, look, recycling logo. That's how they used to do things back in the day, but nowadays, they're kind of getting a little more creative. It's not always good. Like, let me show you this one. Here's a set of Godzilla movies on DVD. But as you can see, it's a standard DVD case. So you may be wondering, how do they fit all the discs in here? Well, let me show you. You might be still wondering, where are the rest of the movies? I only see 2. Well, here's what they did. Yep. They had a little middle piece be extra long just so they can fit more movies in this thing. I mean, I can see the convenience in terms of space, but DVDs tend to scratch easily, and I can see this damaging the films. I don't know why they did this, but I can see the convenience. I just wish they'd do this more with Blu-ray, seeing as how the discs are higher quality and can withstand something like this. And once again, I'm going to show this off because I still haven't gotten a reply to my first video about this. Let me show you again. Okay, you fold this out. There are the films. But as you can see, no buttons. What do? You push down, and they come out. Yeah, you can see down here, like these little clamps that move when you push the disc in to fit into this. Someone, if you're watching this, please let me know if you've ever seen another DVD and or Blu-ray set that does this. It just baffles me to no end. Now here's another interesting thing they used to do sometimes, which I actually legit don't see anymore. Okay, here's a box set with a few of the Dragon Ball movies. And the DVD cases are really thin. Like, serious, like when we pull them out, like, they're like really skinny. And they're see-through, which I also tend to like. No, basic stuff. I used to see this a lot with TV shows like Family Guy. But I don't really see this anymore. Like, for the longest time, I used to see, like, DVD sets hold up at least, like, I don't know, like, 3 or 4 of these max. But the last time I ever bought a DVD set that did this, had this. Look at all those movies. You want to know how many in particular? It says on the cover, 13 movies. Yeah, like, all of them are double-sided for each of the films that they're showing off, and they even number them, which is nice. But yeah, I wonder why DVD sets don't do this anymore. I miss this. Heck, it'd be even cooler if they're all interlocking images to make a big picture. I'll show you what I mean by that later in the video. Okay. Another interesting way multiple movies are packaged was like this. Yeah, these used to be really common back in the day, where like this one DVD set had like 4 movies in it. Now here's how they did this. You pop it open, you get the 2 discs, but as you saw on the cover, it said 4 movies. Well, just like with widescreen and full screen with the double-sided disc, this one instead of that, each movie's on a different side of the disc. Like here, it could be the first movie, on this side, it could be the other movie. I don't know. I would miss these types of DVDs where you can just get like a bunch of films for cheap. Because I do, and yeah, they should really get back to making these someday. Alright, now let's look at some TV shows on DVD. Let's first look at this volume of X-Men I have. Looks like a normal DVD. Pop it open. 2 discs. Like 6 to 7 episodes a disc. Usual stuff for an individual season. And just like movies, sometimes they come in clear cases. Like this show, Cyber 6. Now here's an interesting one I have. Here's a volume of the 2003 Ninja Turtles show. Yes, I own multiple DVDs of this show. And strangely enough, when you open it up, it's not the slider thing, it's this where they're layered. Like, you take out the first disc, it's fine, but with the bottom when you gotta like either take this one out first, or they designed it in a way where you can like pop this and slide it out. I don't know. I feel like seeing how these were made for kids, I could see them scratching this a lot easier than what's probably necessary. Come on, get back in there. Yeah, there we go. Another way some TV shows were packaged is like this, where it's like a slide out, where it's all cardboard and you fold all this and yeah, there's the DVDs. And sometimes they have episodes like well printed on here. There we go. Here's the thing. With longer shows, they don't have 2 discs. They usually have 4. Like with Transformers Prime here. Yeah. Like 1, 2, 3, and 4. And just like other see-through DVDs, all the episodes are printed on the inside just so you can see where you're at. And trust me, I love this. Sometimes it was never this simple. Some companies would get creative. Like the company who made Tattoo Teenage Alien Fighters from Beverly Hills. This was a 40 episode show, but you may be wondering, where are the rest of the episodes or discs? Well, just like that Godzilla DVD I showed you, they stacked them. Okay, they're the 4th one, but you get what I mean, and all the disc art's the same. Hang on, I'll just get this back in here. And there we go. And for the record, yes, this is a real show. And sometimes they would do questionable things. Okay, not on the levels of this, but here's Power Rangers Dino Charge and Dino Supercharge. Judging by how big this is, you would assume you just pull this up and it's a big box full of the DVDs, but strangely enough, that's not what they did. Instead, they just got the 2 season sets and just shoved them in one giant slipcase. I mean, I guess if they don't have to print any new DVDs and just one big piece of cardboard to just shove everything in, I guess I can see why they do it. And speaking of cases, okay, here's Voltron, Defender of the Universe, the original series, and this is weird because this is the first time I've ever owned a box set where like they have 2 different size box sets inside one box. I'm serious, like they are not the same size. And since we also show, like, here's Vehicle Voltron, and with Transformers, I showed you 4 discs. This one holds more, like 1, 2, 3. Oh. Okay, that's 3, 4, 5, and 6. 6 DVDs inside a case like this. But sometimes that was never enough, because with the Lions, or at least the version of Voltron most people are familiar with, they need a bigger box, which holds even more DVDs. I believe this one has 8. Let me just check the back. Yeah, it has 8. And if you think this is as big as it gets, you'd be wrong, because let me just put these back in first to show you what I mean. Okay, I know I showed you a DVD of the 2003 Ninja Turtles, but here's a complete series box set to the show. At first glance, it looks like a normal big DVD case, but when you turn sideways, let me show you how big this is. Yeah, this thing is big, like really big. And, yeah, there are a lot of DVDs in this set, which makes sense. This show is over 100 episodes, so they wouldn't need a lot of content. Here's the weird thing about this tray. It just comes out. Like, I'm pretty sure if someone just gave me this, I think I'd be fine since it is the show. And another weird thing about it is how the discs are placed, because when you look here, like, top, bottom, and the bottom ones are kind of under, it's kind of like the other DVD I showed you, but when I flip it over, on the other side it's different, it's mirrored, like where like the top one's under and the bottom one's over. Yeah, this was confusing to me, like whenever I was binging this, I had to like remind myself, oh wait, this one goes here, this one goes there. I don't know, like, they didn't have to do this. And frankly, I'm just happy my favorite show is on DVD in its entirety. Now, let me show you some other ways TV shows have been packaged over the years. Alright, first off, let me show you The Simpsons. Which, believe it or not, this was actually the very first complete season set of a show ever put on DVD. And you can tell it's the first because the play alt button wasn't invented yet. And yeah, this folds out. You fold all this. And yeah, there's the show. Or at least all the DVDs. And strange enough, with Simpsons, they always change it every now and then. Like, here's what the first few seasons were like. However, later on they would do this, which so far looks the same. But when you pull this out, still looks like normal affairs. However, you get this. Like, it's this weird stack where, like, all the discs are, like, you have to fold to them. Okay, I have no idea where this one is. We kind of lost it somewhere. But, yeah. And you sometimes always got cool little paper inserts about the season. And they didn't stop changing. Or at least they did change it one more time, and that became the default for the last few seasons before they just stopped releasing the show entirely. Okay, I have no idea this is the first season to do this, but here's what the rest of the show was like on TV. Like, you fold out this flap in like this weird cardboard box. And, come on. There we go. And you get this, which is basically one giant fold-out image. And you may be wondering, where are the DVDs? Well, here's the thing. The way you get to them is in some sections, like, you fold this out, and, come on, there are the DVDs. And unfortunately, doing it like this caused some discs to get scratched easily, depending on, like, what it is, or how tightly these were packaged, so, yeah, this was odd. And this isn't the end of it. There are other weird ways shows were packaged on DVD. Let me just put this back in first before I show you. Come on, there we go. And this is also another point, I'm not too fond of this. It takes forever, like, to put it back in, like, properly. Come on. There we go. Like, here's another one. Here's He-Man and the Masters of the Universe. Judging by the sizes, you'd think it would be like the Ninja Turtle DVD I showed you, but that's not the case. First you take this off, but when you open it up, okay, first off, paper insert for all the episodes, but yeah, the company who did this made the sets like this, where it's like these little paper wax sleeves that all the discs come in. They're all stacked like this. It's really weird. And you know, like, every He-Man DVD I own was never consistent packaging-wise. Like, the original show was this. One of the early 2000 shows, at least, had it like this. One of the more recent shows had it in the style of tattooed teenage alien fighters from Beverly Hills. And the only normal He-Man DVD I own is the live-action movie starring Dolph Lundgren, where it's just a normal DVD case. Now, let me show you the weirdest Ninja Turtle DVD I own. Here's Season 5 of the original series. First glance looks normal, big case, slipcover, but that's not actually how this goes. You may think you take the slipcover off and you get to the thing, but no, instead, you get this extra piece of cardboard, which isn't really anything, so you have this little tiny pizza box. Basically how this works is you open up the pizza box, and you get more packaging with more imagery. You fold this out, and there's the show. Yeah, it's like 3 layers of packaging just to get to the discs. I mean, it looks cool, don't get me wrong, but I think they should have done this maybe for, like, the final 3 seasons, seeing how, like, those are really short. This was 3 discs, and that season, or at least those seasons, how many people even knew they existed when they were new? So, I don't know. I feel like they might have went a little overboard with this one. Come on. Yeah. And once again, putting the plastic back on is really annoying. Come on. And since I'm busy with this, I'm going to put up an image of what the original, like, complete series box set for this show was like. It was literally a giant plastic party wagon with all the DVDs of the show. That was cool. Now, here's, in my opinion, the weirdest DVD I own. Like, this one was the weirdest Ninja Turtle DVD. here's Bewitched. Okay, this isn't really mine, it's my mom's, but when you look at it, you might think it's another giant box with a bunch of discs, but no. You have to open up this flap, and inside are these cardboard trays with the company that made the DVDs, and all the discs are just shoved in them on both sides. Like, who designed this and why? I'm serious, this box is just full of these. Like, who looked at this and thought it was good packaging? It's not. It's just confusing. Like, when we got this, we thought we might have gotten a bootleg by accident, but no. This was how they packaged the show. Now, here's another interesting way they package TV shows. Here's Yu-Gi-Oh!, or at least the first season. Normal looking stuff, and like I showed with Voltron, they have other cases inside a big box. You know, usual stuff, you open it up, and here we have 3 DVDs. Why they couldn't do one big box with like, oh, I don't know, like 6 DVDs altogether for each season, I don't know. But here's the interesting thing about this. You notice in the spine here you see some artwork? Well, let me just grab the other 4 seasons of Yu-Gi-Oh! Like, here's season 2. The image keeps going. Season 3. We start to see more of something. Season 4. Oh, I should see a face. Season 5. And look, altogether, you got a cool picture of Yugi on here. I'm just gonna say this, I'm a sucker for DVDs that do this, especially if it's a show I like. Like, if I buy them all and I get a cool image, I'll always try to get them all. But this show didn't stop here. I mean, other shows like Dragon Ball Z, and GT, like, all did this. But here's what the Yu-Gi-Oh! DVDs did. When you turn them around, you get another image, this time of Exodia. I don't know, like I said, like, when I see this, I want to get all of them. By the way, I still have never finished the original Yu-Gi-Oh! Before I have to start Season 4. But, yeah. This is all the weird ways DVDs were packaged over the years. And if you think I'm done, I am not. I am now going to move on to Blu-rays. Just hold on a second while I get set up. Okay, now on to Blu-rays. Here's a regular Blu-ray DVD. And I like how with Blu-ray they went out of their way to make these blue. That's kind of funny. And sometimes with Blu-ray, they come with like a DVD copy of the film, so depending on, okay, the deals come with a pack of cards, you'd sometimes just get a DVD plus a Blu-ray disc. I have no idea why they always did both, but for me, it was always useful because on really rare occasion, one disc would be faulty, and it was always good to have a backup. And here's one Blu-ray where for some reason it had this little clip on the side, kind of like some of those DVDs I showed you. I don't know why. Like, was this really necessary? Like, it was not necessary for DVD, so why did these have it? And just like some DVDs, some DVDs come with a slipcover. This one's neat because it showed the 3 spider people all together, and when you pull it off, you see them unmasked. Except for this one. I don't know why they never did that. Just put this back. Whew. Now, just like DVDs, some can also be other colors. Like, here's one I have of X-Men Apocalypse where they made it silver. And they replaced the Blu-ray logo with an X. I don't know why, and honestly, it kind of looks cool. The other one I have is this one of Black Widow where it's kind of reddish-orange. I have no idea why. An even weirder one is Avengers Age of Ultron, which is also red, but it kind of looks like the red in those HD DVD movies. Anyone remember those where back when Blu-ray was still new, there's also HD DVD to compete with it, and yeah, Blu-ray won that war, and yet for some reason they still have DVD cases that look like those. Don't know why. Also, this one also has that weird flap on the side. And sometimes, if you want more movies, they did go the DVD route sometimes with, well, box sets. Yeah, here's a box I have for, like, some of the Gamera films, and just like some DVDs, like, there was another one, and you put them together, you get a cool image of Gamera. Okay, granted, it's half and half, but, hey, it still looks cool. Another cool thing about this is, when you pull them out, Like, these are also see-through. And another cool thing Blu-rays do nowadays is, let me just show you what I mean. You can take out like the paper inserts, like for the cover, and you can swap it around, and you can have an alternate cover for the movie. Like, hang on, let me just put this back in and show you what I mean. And see, different cover. They didn't have to do this, but I always loved this. Like, it gave me options. And hang on, let me just switch this back because I like the other one better. I don't know, like, it's clear at this time they're trying to make Blu-rays more special, seeing as how nowadays people are all about streaming, and they figured DVDs are worthless now, so companies are trying to get more creative and have you buy their movies. Frankly, I just want the movie. This extra stuff is just a cool bonus for me. And that's not the only type of special editions we have, because they also start introducing steelbooks. Let me show you what I mean. Here's the movie Mothra. Usual, slipcover. By the way, this one sees with some extra images on it. But yeah, steelbook means that the case is made of metal. Okay, I can't really show that too well in video, but yeah, this case is made of metal. And it looks really nice. And frankly, I should probably get more of these because these are getting hard to find for like any movie nowadays, so yeah, I should probably track down more steelbooks. And sometimes steelbooks have more than one movie. Like, here's the first 3 Pokemon movies on steelbook. Okay, there's just paper advertisements. But yeah, they would fit more than one movie on these sometimes. Just show you this 3 of this film. And for some reason, like, when like those Ninja Turtle DVDs where you could scratch them here, they had this extra flap for extra protection on the disc, which they didn't have to do. Like, Blu-rays are higher quality and do scratch a lot more difficult, so they didn't have to go that far. Now that's done over with. Let's get into TV shows now for Blu-ray. Okay, now on to TV shows. Here's a show on Blu-ray. Usual stick, slipcover, you pull it out, you open it up, and here are the discs. So here's some extra stuff, but yeah. So far, it's the usual shtick for, like, well, TV shows on Blu-ray. However, some shows would do some interesting things, like, for one, here's the English dub of Sonic X on Blu-ray. And remember the Gamera I showed you there was reversible covers? Well, here, they didn't do that. Instead, when you pull it out, you get a little mini poster related to the show. Okay, granted, this would be cool for a locker if I was still in school. However, if I leave this out, the case will just look like this, so I won't even know what I'm watching. I don't know. It's a cool idea, but in terms of execution, I think they should have just come with the poster separately instead of having it be like, well, the actual cover of the show. I don't know. Am I alone on that? I feel like the show saw something better. And of course, sometimes with other shows, you need more discs. Like here's the second season of My Hero Academia, and just like bigger DVDs, they come with extra discs to accommodate 4 discs and more episodes. And of course, that wasn't enough either, because sometimes they needed to go bigger. Like, here's this Blu-ray of Kamen Rider Kuuga, and instead of 4 discs, this has 7. Yeah, they really need to go big for some of these. And here's another interesting thing they did sometimes. Here's the show Fairy Tail. Usual slipcover stuff, big case. But here's the thing, only half of these are Blu-rays. Like, the first 4 discs are like DVDs. However, the other 4 discs are actually Blu-rays. Yeah, they came with both DVD and Blu-ray discs for this show. And frankly, I didn't mind because, like I said earlier, sometimes I get faulty discs, and having backups was always helpful because of this show. One of the discs was faulty and didn't work right, so having a backup was awesome. And here's this show, Black Clover, on Blu-ray, and I bring this up because this holds 10 discs. Yeah, they crammed as much as they could in this thing. However, on the downside, doing this means that it was damaged. It doesn't really close properly anymore. It's always like kind of floppy. Yeah. Okay, here's an interesting Blu-ray set I have. Here's the first season of Devil the Part-Timer. As you can see, it comes with 2 Blu-rays. But here's the thing. Only one of them's Blu-ray. The other one's DVD. How can you tell? Well, if you look closely, just adjust the camera. There we go. Yeah, you can see, like, one's Blu-ray for this tiny text, and here's the DVD. Why they did it this way? I don't know, and frankly, I just find it questionable. And strangely, this is the only box I have that does this for like 2 separate Blu-ray cases, but one's DVD, one's Blu-ray. Eh. Here's an interesting one I have. Here's One Piece. Okay, this is a DVD, but I'm going to show you what I mean. Like, this is the first 26 episodes. But as the show went on and became HD, they started throwing in Blu-rays of the show. Like here, it says it includes 2 Blu-rays because with the first one, it's just like the 4 DVDs containing the episodes. However, starting with number 26, yeah, they threw in some extra ones, being that the last few episodes on this set were HD. So, yeah, they started throwing in Blu-rays because the show looks better. And strangely enough, when like they have to do like both sets of Blu-rays, they have to increase the size of the packaging because. And I never minded because like it felt consistent. Like yeah, like they had to make them thicker and they had to come with Blu-ray discs. So I don't know. I like that they did this because it feels right. However, with the show Fairy Tail, which I showed before, let me just grab this. Like I showed you this, where like Blu-rays and DVDs, and it came with a big Blu-ray case, and it was one piece, it was DVD. However, with the final season, they changed the format to this, and when you put it on a shelf, it just looks weird because one's taller than the other one. Eh. And just like movies, even TV shows get steelbooks. Like here's the first season of Dr. Stone on steelbook. You know, usual shtick. However, you've noticed this piece of paper. Well, here's the thing. On the back, we have more artwork. Really nice looking artwork, to be honest, because when you pull it out all the way, you get like this really big image. Oh no, the paper fell out. But with this, like, it's too big. Like, it doesn't fit in the box, so I have to awkwardly balance it, like, hanging on the top like this. I honestly hate it when physical media does this because you have to awkwardly slide this, like, in between the shelf. Here's another box that I have, the complete series of Evangelion. And yeah, it's a big box, has a lot of stuff, like a bunch of this extra stuff here. But for just like Dr. Stone, hang on, I'm just. It came with a piece of paper that's supposed to attach here when it's wrapped in plastic. Here's the thing, it doesn't go anywhere once you take it out. Like, it doesn't fit properly in the. Okay, now it does. But I don't know, like, what was the point of this if it takes up too much space in the box? Oh, and hang on, when I try and straighten it, it bends a little bit. So I have to awkwardly fold it in half and then shove it in here. I don't know, I hate this because if this is supposed to be a collector's item, why include a piece that you can easily damage or lose or just not care about? It just doesn't make sense. Anyways, let's get to 4K. Okay, now into 4K. And I don't own many 4Ks, so this will be quick. Here's what a normal 4K movie looks like. As you can see, they went back to black. And especially with the case too, it's a lot shinier. And as you can see here, it says plus Blu-ray. So yeah, just like with Blu-ray movies, they would sometimes come with like a, or at least a lesser version of the film as a backup disc, which is nice. Also, I find it weird how the Blu-ray disc has like hardly anything, while the 4K has so much nice artwork on it. And sometimes the whole extra Blu-ray thing doesn't apply because with the movie I have, RWBY X Justice League, it says there's a Blu-ray copy, at least in the slipcover. When you open it up, it's just the 4K, so that's basically false advertising. Anyone else get annoyed by that sometimes? And the last one I'm going to show off is my special edition of the movie Belle. Yeah, you can tell this is a big one because it comes with so much extra stuff. And the movie is basically... Come on, get it out of there. I guess I'm taking this out too. Yeah, it comes in like this nice fold-out like a lot of old DVDs used to do. By the way, this is a good movie. I recommend it if you're a fan of animation. And that concludes practically everything. Except for one thing, which I will need to change camera angles to show you. Let me just get ready for that real quick. Okay, now on to the biggest Blu-ray set I have. And that being the Godzilla Showa era set by Criterion. Yep, they made this set a book. And you may be wondering, if it's a book, where are the movies? Well, on the very last page, here are the discs. Some discs have more movies than others. But frankly, I just think this is really cool. Like, you can't really argue that. A heads up about this set, there's a movie on here which I thought I got scammed on, but the version of the movie that you want to watch is actually on the final disc as a bonus feature. Yeah, that probably makes more sense to people who actually own this set, but I figured it'd be a fun little piece of information to give in case you do have the set and you're asking questions. So, that concludes my video on DVD packaging. What did you guys think? Let me know in the comments. And with any sets that I didn't bring up, honestly account of the fact that I didn't have it, let me know. I want to hear about sets you guys have that you loved and would rather not get rid of out of nostalgia, or you think it's cool. Thanks for watching. I plan on making more videos in the future.